Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be taking a look at MetaTable Poker. And I've played a lot of poker games, and there's a couple of poker games that you can play in virtual reality. As you can see, uh, this here is it's one of my favorite games to play as far as virtual poker is concerned. Over here, as you can see, you start out with 5,000 chips. Of course, now I've worked my way up to 81,000. Your avatar here, where my name is Wallbound, will be the avatar that you have inside of your Oculus Rift login page or whatever. When you go to set it up, whatever you have there for your avatar inside of Oculus will actually be your avatar inside of the game. As you can see, they got a couple of tables you can go to. It looks like it's about 3 or 4 tables that you can go to. But that's not the really cool thing about this game. We'll get into the really cool stuff here in just a second. But over here, as you can see, it has a private table listing where you can enter a code. So if your friends or somebody has already purchased a private table and y'all are going to host a private game, you just enter your code here and it will automatically take you to that table. Now you can purchase a table at any time, and as you can see right here, we'll bring up the information for that. Private tables are a fun way to play games with a select group of friends. The organizers of the game may purchase 1, 2, or 3 hours using the lobby. Once the purchase is made, the organizer will receive a pin they can send to their friends. And they suggest that you do this through voice, text, or email. If you receive a pin from an organizer, enter it into the private table, and a validate pin will display the private table along with your friends who are already playing. The timer for your tables do not start until you get at least 2 players in the room. Private tables do not use any of your current balance chips. So in other words, my 81,000 chips does not go into these private tables, and any winnings that you take from these private tables do not get credited to your chip balance. Instead, you start down with, it looks like 10,000 chips to begin with, and you can have as many rebuys as you want, but that's going to be discussed between whoever's hosting the private chat or whatever. Private tables are for entertainment purposes only. The chips have no value, and balance will be deleted when the time runs out, which I just said. So in other words, it doesn't matter. These chips are all play chips. So this is not a real poker game. You're not sitting there playing for poker, and they are not condoning, well, let's say you want to do a Friday night home game and everybody decides that they're going to log in over here on a private table. Well, they don't suggest you do that, but I mean, that's not what it's set up to do. But I guess you could do that if you, and theoretically, if you wanted to do that, I guess you could. But anyway, the purpose of this is not to encourage gambling, in other words. All right, we'll get rid of this, and we're gonna go ahead and sit down at a table. Over here where you see my name, it'll say player. So all you got to do is edit that out and put whatever name you want there. And like I said, you get started with 5,000 chips, and you can choose any seat that you want to sit at that's not already taken. All right, let's jump right into this thing here. And the best thing about this game is you can play online with multiple people. I sat down with the developers a couple of days ago, and we have been talking a lot about up and coming new things to MetaTable Poker. This is kind of an alpha beta set up right now. Like I said, it's basically alpha beta. Well, as you can see, I'm sitting at a table, and I'm not quite oriented, or my orientation is not exactly right. So all I got to do to get the table the way I want it is I'll hit this menu button down here, and then I'll go to chair, and then I'll raise this table up. And as you can see, it's raising the table up for me, and it's getting me to the level I like to be at. Now I have to roll back a little bit because I got all kinds of stuff in front of me, steering wheel and stuff like that from where I do my racing, and I'll bring the table closer to me, and in this doing so, it allows me to actually get further into the tables as I want. Alright, now I'm going to pull the trigger, and as you can see, it'll bend my cards up, and I got King 8. So I'll call with that, but you can also pick the cards up and look at them. And when you're looking at your cards and you're showing them like this, nobody can see what you got. They're blank cards when somebody else is taking a look at it. And all you got to do is check when the little check mark comes up, or you can grab your chips. Now this is the one thing I like about this game, is if you just do decide to place a bet, and I don't have anything to call with, somebody's got at least a pair, I'm sure. So all I got to do is put my cards in right there, and that'll automatically fold me. Well, let's get out of this right here for a second. All right, when it comes time to bet, as you can see, we got stacks of chips up. And when you normally play a video game, you usually have to use like some kind of a button and hit an A button, a B button to go all in or whatever. That's not the case in here. I mean, King 4 of hearts, okay? So when it comes around here to me, let's just give you an idea. What we're going to do is I'm going to just highlight $30 in chips or $35 in chips, and I'm going to put them down here on the table like so. And as you can see, we got a real person that just joined us. And so I got a 4 out of all of that. I will check it. He's probably wondering just exactly what I'm doing as I'm sitting here with two bots and talking to myself. But this is a pretty cool game as far as, you know, sitting down and having some real fun with playing poker. It is about as close as you can get to actually sitting down at a poker table. So I got a 4, and I just don't believe that 4 is any good because, I mean, I got so many overcards. But just for giggles, we'll call just to see if I actually make anything. And like I thought that somebody had at least an ace or an overcard, so I didn't win. There are some few bugs, and the developers are really working hard taking care of these bugs. But they are, for what it is right now, I mean, it's still one of the best poker games that you can get into. At a rating from a 0 to a 10, I'm going to give it about a 9. When they get all the bugs fixed and everything, then I'll give them that extra point. Now, as of right now, all you can do is play this type of game right here. But in the future, they're talking about developing tournaments. You can also sit and go tournaments. So, and eventually, it's going to be a really fun place to come and play. If you, this person, do you know how to play, sir? Okay, if you want to check, that little check box right there, you're just going to pull your finger over the top of it. Alright, like that. Yes, sir. And now if you got anything you want to bet, all you got to do is slide your hand over the chips down here and then pull your left finger trigger, and it will allow you to place bets on the inside. You do have to put it past the line here so that the bet will actually take place. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I got 4 deuce of hearts, and they're no good, so I'll just throw them in a mix. But as I say, this is a really fun game. And they're going to be developing concepts to where you can show 1 card, or you'll be able to show 2 cards. Show the bluff when you do bluff. I mean, we had a long discussion about what's going on and the development inside of this game. There's a couple little things I'd like to point out to you. We'll bring up the little menu here. Now you can buy items just for giggles, like I want a watch, so I grab me a watch, and now it's 4:20 time, and we'll get a little something else real quick. Let me get me a gold bracelet, and I'll put it on my other arm, and we'll do this again. Well, it helps if I. Uh-oh, I think I got booted. Now that has not happened to me at all before. This is the first time I've gotten actually kicked from a table. So we'll wait just a second, and it'll probably bring us back to the login. And of course, now I won't lose anything that I just purchased until I actually log completely out. So yeah, it looks like another person sat down and took me, and it's still showing me inside of the game. So let's see if I can't switch tables. That's bringing me back in. So it was just a little glitch. Like I said, it's still in alpha beta, but they're working really hard at getting this poker tables and this environment really nice. Like I said, there is like 3 or 4 different environments that you can sit down in. I usually like playing in the space one right off the get-go, the very first table. But as you can see, we are now back, and it's moved me into another position. And so I still got I got to do all this all over again. I got to raise up my chair and bring the table forward to me. So let's do that while we're doing it. It says down, but I'm actually raising the table up. It's actually moving my seat down. And as you can see, the stuff that I bought is still here. So all I got to do is reach over here and grab that, and then reach over here if I can get there and kind of grab my bracelet back. And yeah, like I said, this is a pretty good game. And you can come in here and you can buy stuff like well, I mean, you can get you a hamburger if you want, set it over here to the side, and then you can come in here and get some more items, and you can grab a gun and say, you want that hamburger gone? Oh, I dropped my gun. And I can't. And unfortunately for me, I can't get down there to the floor to do it. So I just buy me another gun, and I'll pick it up, and I'll just blow my gun. Well, I dropped 2 of them. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So I'm going to call this a really good showing of the game. As you can see, now we have 4 real players sitting at the table. So we're going to end this right here. But ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance to check it out, the link is below. Pop it in if you got VR. Pop in the link, go to the page, download it, or you can actually download the game from your home page inside a virtual Rift or whatever. But anyway, this is David Wellborn, or David Wallbound Wellborn. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a great afternoon, and be sure and check out this game. This is an awesome poker game.